Hello students, welcome back to my class. In the previous class we are discussing with the microbes in industrial products and we have completed certain industrial products like alcoholic beverages or fermented beverages and we are continuing with the industrial products only. In this class we are studying about the industrial products, in that namely antibiotics. Antibiotics. You may be heard about antibiotics. Whenever if you are not feeling well, you will go to the doctor and doctor will provide you certain antibiotics. So you should know the importance of these antibiotics. Let us study the role of antibiotics or how microbes play an important role in the production of these antibiotics. And the antibiotics which are produced by the microbes, it has been a most significant discovery in the 20th century. So nowadays we are extensively using the antibiotics. So the role of microbes in these antibiotics, it is one of the most significant discovery in the 20th century and which have been contributing towards the welfare of human society. And in this antibiotics, here the term anti refers to, it is agonist. Anti refers to agonist and bios refers to life. So here antibiotics means agonist life. But against whose life? It is not for us, it is against the life of disease-causing microorganism or the pathogens. So what are the pathogens or disease-causing microorganisms are there? Against those life, we are preparing antibiotics. That's why we are against the life of disease-causing microorganisms. And the term antibiotics, it was coined by a scientist named as Selman Waksman in the year 1942. The term antibiotic was coined by Selman Waksman in the year 1942. Then what exactly these antibiotics? So antibiotics are the chemical substances which are produced by some microorganisms and used to kill are used to retard the growth of other disease-causing microorganisms. Try to understand the definition. I told you the antibiotics are the chemical substances. These are the chemical substances which are produced by some microorganisms and used to kill some other microorganism. You should remember this. We are extracting or we are obtaining these antibiotics from microorganisms only and used to kill the microorganisms only. That is very important. So we are extracting these chemicals from certain microorganisms and are used to kill or retard the growth of other pathogenic or disease causing microorganisms. So they are called as antibiotics. So antibiotics are the chemical substances produced by some microorganisms and used to kill or used to retard the growth of other disease causing microorganisms. So we'll discuss one important and interesting antibiotic. You may be familiar with the famous antibiotic which is penicillin. So you may be familiar with this penicillin. Actually this is penicillin. So it is the first antibiotic to be discovered. The first antibiotic which is discovered is penicillin and this penicillin was discovered by Alexander Fleming. Alexander Fleming in the year 1928. So Alexander Fleming, he was the person who discovered the first antibiotic which is penicillin. And you can know some information about Alexander Fleming in your NCERT textbook on the cover page. On the front cover page, on the back side you can observe, you can see the information given about Alexander Fleming. So let me say about this. So penicillin, it is the first antibiotic to be discovered by Alexander Fleming. But here it is a chance of discovery. By accidental, it has been discovered by Alexander Fleming. He is not purposefully or intentionally discovered this penicillin by chance. By accidental, he discovered the antibiotic penicillin. That discovery of penicillin is very interesting. We'll see how Alexander Fleming discovered the penicillin. Actually, Alexander Fleming is a famous scientist and a bacteriologist. He used to culture the bacteria in his laboratory. Is it possible to grow or culture the bacteria in the laboratory? Yes, in the introduction class I have told you certain microorganisms can be grown in the laboratory by providing nutrient media. So even Alexander Fleming, by providing nutrient media, he used to grow certain microorganisms. Especially he used to work on the Staphylococci bacteria. So he used to culture the Staphylococci bacteria in his laboratory. So during the cultures, you may have seen in your laboratory Petri plates. In the Petri plate, the nutrient media will be provided so that the bacteria can able to grow. But that Petri plate will be covered with another Petri plate. Likewise, the bacterial cultures will be cultured by Alexander Fleming. You should remember this. The bacteria. Which type of bacteria which will be cultured by Alexander Fleming? It is Staphylococci bacteria. So he used to culture the Staphylococcus bacteria in his laboratory. But one day he has to go somewhere. So what he did is, in a hurry, he has not washed the Petri plates properly, and he has to cover the Petri plates with another Petri plate. But he left certain Petri plates as open. So some Petri plates he has not covered with the another plate. He kept it open and went as it is. So during that time what happened? He went somewhere and he came out. So on his return, he observed that in the unwashed Petri plate or opened Petri plate, he observed the growth of a mold or a fungus. So in remaining all closed Petri plates, he observed the growth of Staphylococcus bacteria, but in the opened or unwashed Petri plate, he observed the growth of this mold or fungus. And another interesting thing he noticed is that, for example, if this is the Petri plate, so here the bacteria will be growing. But here in one Petri plate, he observed the presence of the mold or fungus. So how the mold or fungus will looks like? You may have seen, if you kept bread or any rotten vegetables at your home, the fungus, some fungus will be growing like a threads it will be growing. So that type of mold he observed in that Petri plate. And what the another interesting thing he observed here is, so around the growth of this mold, the Staphylococcus bacteria could not able to grow. In remaining all Petri plates, the Staphylococcus bacteria is growing, but in this Petri plate where the mold is growing, in that Petri plate the Staphylococcus bacteria could not able to grow. So he was thinking, and he used to find out why the Staphylococcus bacteria could not grow in this Petri plate. So finally he found that why the Staphylococcus bacteria is not able to grow, because certain chemicals will be produced by this mold. So some chemicals will be produced by this mold, and those chemicals will be killing or inhibiting the growth of Staphylococci bacteria. Try to understand. So in that Petri plate, the mold is growing. So the mold will be producing certain chemicals, and those chemicals will kill or inhibit the growth of Staphylococci bacteria. And which is that mold growing in that Petri plate? It is called as Penicillium notatum. The scientific name of that fungi is Penicillium notatum. It is important. So Penicillium notatum, it is the fungi or mold which is growing in that Petri plate, and that Penicillium notatum will be producing certain chemicals, and these chemicals he extracted from Penicillium notatum, and the chemical is named as penicillin. The chemical extracted from Penicillium notatum has been named as penicillin. So this penicillin, it is one of the first antibiotic. It is the first antibiotic which is discovered by Alexander Fleming, and it is a chance of discovery. You can observe here, he has not purposefully or intentionally discovered this penicillin. By chance, it has been discovered, and it is the first antibiotic discovered by Alexander Fleming. And later the pioneers in the commercial establishment of this drug, that is antibiotic penicillin. The commercial establishment was done by two more scientists. They are namely Arnstein and Howard Florey. So Arnstein and Howard Florey, these are the two scientists who are the pioneers in the commercial production of the famous antibiotic penicillin. So this antibiotic during World War II and during Second World War, it is used to treat many number of wounded American soldiers who were injured during the Second World War. So during Second World War it has been discovered. So this famous antibiotic, it is used to treat many number of wounded American soldiers during Second World War. So for this greatest discovery, Alexander Fleming, Arnstein and Howard Florey, these three persons will be awarded with the Nobel Prize in the year 1945. So Alexander Fleming, Arnstein and Howard Florey, all three got the Nobel Prize in the year 1945. Later, after penicillin, many other antibiotics have been discovered from other microorganisms. Then which are the other antibiotics which are discovered? The other antibiotics like tetracycline, streptomycin, neomycin, erythromycin. Likewise, many number of antibiotics have been discovered after penicillin and which are used to treat many number of diseases. And now there are more than 7,000 antibiotics are known. And most of the antibiotics are extracted from the species, especially from Bacillus species, Streptomyces species and many other fungi. You should remember this. Nowadays there are more than 7,000 antibiotics are known, but most of the antibiotics are extracted from Bacillus species, Streptomyces species and other fungi. And this usage of antibiotics, have been increased our capacity to treat the deadly diseases. So during those days there are many deadly diseases like plague, leprosy. So leprosy, it is nothing but kushroga. So plague, leprosy, diphtheria, whooping cough, these are the most dangerous and deadly diseases on those days. So these antibiotics have been successfully or extensively used to treat those deadly diseases. Because those dangerous diseases will be causing or will be killing many number of millions of people on those days. That's why the usage have been increased our capacity to treat with the deadliest diseases like as I mentioned earlier. And nowadays we cannot imagine the world without antibiotics. We cannot imagine. Whenever we are not feeling well, we will go to the doctor and doctor will provide certain antibiotics. So now it is very difficult and it is impossible to imagine the world without antibiotics. So all this information, it is related to your syllabus. We will see some more interesting points and some more extra points regarding these antibiotics. Actually, the antibiotics are of mainly two types. Namely broad spectrum antibiotics and specific antibiotics. There are mainly two types of antibiotics, the broad spectrum antibiotics and specific antibiotics. So what are these broad spectrum antibiotics? So these broad spectrum antibiotics can able to kill different types of pathogens which belongs to different category. For example, let me give an example. If you are not feeling well, for example, you are suffering from cold and cough, and you imagine that cold is caused by certain fungi and cough is caused by certain bacteria, and you will go to the doctor and doctor will provide one antibiotic which can able to cure both cold as well as cough. You should imagine. So doctor will be providing one antibiotic which can able to cure both cough as well as cold. which means that antibiotic is a broad spectrum antibiotic that can kill the pathogens which belongs to different category. See, fungi is different from bacteria, so that antibiotic can able to kill the fungi also as well as bacteria also. That's why I am saying broad spectrum antibiotics which can kill different pathogens which belongs to different category. So that is broad spectrum antibiotic. And specific antibiotics. So specific antibiotics can able to kill the specific pathogen. Again, we'll take the same example. You have a cold as well as a cough, and cold is caused by fungus and cough is caused by bacteria. You will go to another doctor. Doctor will provide two types of antibiotics, and one antibiotic is for cold and one antibiotic is for cough. Which means doctor will say this is for cold and this is for cough, which means they are the specific antibiotics. One specific antibiotic will be fighting against only one type of pathogen. So what the antibiotic you are taking against the cold, it will be curing only cold, or it will be killing the pathogen which causes cold. And another antibiotic you are taking that can kill the microorganism which is causing cough. Likewise, the specific antibiotics they are killing or they will be fighting against only one type of pathogen. These are the two types of antibiotics, broad spectrum and specific type of antibiotics. And how these antibiotics will work, how they will take part in our body when we take the antibiotics, how they will work, that is also very, very important. So when you take the antibiotic, so the antibiotics may be specific type or broad spectrum antibiotics. When you take the antibiotic, so that antibiotic will able to destroy the bacteria. If it is a bacteria, for example, so we are taking antibiotic against a bacteria. So that wall, what the wall you can observe around the bacteria, that wall disruption will be done by these antibiotics. The antibiotics will be disrupting the wall. Or they will manipulate the ribosome structure like 50s and 30s ribosomes. So likewise, they will be interacting the wall or the chemical composition. Likewise, they can able to kill the microorganism. And what are the characteristics, good characteristics of a good antibiotic or characteristics of good antibiotic? How can you say that the antibiotic is good? So if it is a good antibiotic, it should not cause any harm to host. You are taking antibiotic, so that antibiotic will be killing the specific microorganism which is present in our body and should not cause any harm to our body. That is very, very important. And it should not cause harm to other microflora which are present in our alimentary canal. In our alimentary canal also, we can find the presence of certain important microorganisms which are very useful. So if you are taking antibiotic, that antibiotic should not cause any harm to the useful microorganisms which are present in our body. And if it is a broad spectrum antibiotic, it is useful because when we take a single antibiotic, it can able to kill many number of pathogens. And it must be effective and it should cure quickly. So all these are the characteristics of good antibiotic. And again, there are certain limitations of antibiotics because most of the antibiotics are specific and they are not effective against all types of pathogens. If they are not against all types of pathogens, they are specific antibiotics. And another thing, so if they are specific, it is very difficult because we need to take a many number of antibiotics. When we are not feeling well, we may have certain infections with bacteria, fungi, etc. So we need to take a different specific antibiotics against the different microorganism. So that is one limitation. And the excess or less usage of these antibiotics is very, very dangerous. You cannot take less or you cannot take more, it is very dangerous. Because when you take a less amount, for example, doctor will give you one tablet as antibiotic. He will say that you take half of the antibiotic or half of the tablet. You will take completely. So if you take completely, what will happen? So it will show quick action. So certain microorganisms which which will be killed immediately, but those which will remain in our body, they will again develop resistance. They will develop resistance. Even if you take less also. If you are taking, the doctor told to take half of the tablet, but you are taking a small amount of tablet, means it will be alerting that microorganism. So small amount of antibiotic will not cause any harm to that microorganism. If you are taking in a small amount, it will be alerting that microorganism to develop the immunity, or it will become resistant. So how it will become resistant? If you are taking in a small amount of the antibiotic, the bacteria, for example, if it is a bacteria, it is present in our body, you are taking a small amount of antibiotic, so that the bacteria will be alerting. So what it will do? It will change its structural organization. So if it is a bacillus bacteria, it can change its shape. Likewise, it can able to develop the resistance. And even, so you know that there are plasmids inside the bacteria. The extra chromosomal, self-replicating, double-stranded circular DNA called as plasmids. The plasmids are the main reason to develop the resistance. Because in one bacteria, the plasmid is there, you have taken the antibiotic, it will be alerting. And that plasmid will be transforming from one bacteria to another bacteria. If from one bacteria to another bacteria, the plasmid which is there in one bacteria, now it has been transformed to another bacteria. And this plasmid already know that you have taken certain antibiotics, so it has been developed resistant. Again, when that plasmid moves to another bacteria, again, if you are taking the same type of antibiotic, it will develop more resistance. It will develop the more resistant, either by changing its structure, by changing the chemical composition. Likewise, it will manipulate the microorganism. Likewise, due to the presence of plasmids, the microorganisms are multi-resistant. If they are multi-resistant, they are called as superbugs. If they are multi-resistant, they are called as superbugs. So this is how the bacteria or the microorganisms will develop resistance. So this is about the antibiotics, and in this class we have completed the antibiotics. Here you should note down what are antibiotics and the term coined by Selman, Waxman, and the famous antibiotic penicillin. It was discovered by Alexander Fleming, used to work on Staphylococcus bacteria, and he observed the growth of a fungus called as Penicillium notatum, extracted the chemicals, and that chemical is called as penicillin, the famous antibiotic used to treat millions of wounded soldiers during Second World War. Later, Armstrong and Howard Florey, as they are the pioneers, all these three persons were awarded with the Nobel Prize. After penicillin, many number of antibiotics have been discovered from different microorganisms to treat various diseases. So this is about antibiotics. That completes antibiotics. And next, we have few more industrial products that need to be discussed, that we will discuss in the next class.